Dear seekers of mystery and wonder, there exists a secret so profound that its revelation would reshape everything you believe about our world and our place in the cosmos. For generations, glimpses of massive figures moving through remote forests have been dismissed as folklore, their footprints explained away, their existence relegated to campfire tales and grainy photographs that skeptics quickly denounce. Yet beneath this veil of dismissal lies a truth more extraordinary than even the believers have imagined, a reality that connects the depths of our ancient forests to the vast expanse of stars above, weaving together threads of consciousness that span dimensions and challenge the very foundations of what we accept as possible. I am Zarin of the Lyran High Council, and through channels of consciousness that transcend ordinary communication, I bring you knowledge that has been carefully guarded, not by human governments alone, but by cosmic agreements that date back to times when your earliest civilizations were taking their first tentative steps toward awareness. The beings you call Sasquatch, Bigfoot, Yeti, and countless other names across your world's cultures represent far more than undiscovered primates hiding in wilderness areas. They are living bridges between worlds, conscious guardians who chose long ago to accept a sacred responsibility that would require them to remain hidden even as they performed work essential to your planet's survival and evolution. Their story intertwines with humanity's own cosmic heritage in ways that will astound you, revealing connections that explain not only their continued presence on Earth, but also their role in the approaching transformation of human consciousness itself. Consider the impossible contradiction of their existence as commonly understood. Here we have beings reportedly standing 8 to 10 feet tall, possessing immense physical strength, leaving footprints that have been cast and studied, generating vocalizations that have been recorded, yet somehow managing to evade definitive capture or documentation despite centuries of searching with increasingly sophisticated technology. Traditional explanations suggest they are merely clever animals with exceptional hiding abilities, but this narrative crumbles under scrutiny when you examine the global distribution of sightings, the consistency of certain reported behaviors across cultures that had no contact with each other, and most tellingly, the pattern of how evidence seems to vanish or become discredited through channels that mirror exactly the suppression techniques used for other phenomena that threaten established worldviews. The truth requires us to expand our understanding beyond the physical realm into dimensions of existence that indigenous peoples have always acknowledged but modern civilization has forgotten in its rush toward materialism. These forest guardians possess consciousness that operates on multiple dimensional frequencies simultaneously, allowing them to phase in and out of visible reality at will, a capability that explains the baffling nature of encounters where witnesses describe a massive figure that simply vanishes without explanation, leaving behind only energetic impressions and occasionally physical traces that defy conventional analysis. This interdimensional nature is not magic or fantasy, but represents a mastery of consciousness principles that your own quantum physicists are only beginning to theorize about, principles that were well understood by ancient civilizations who maintained contact with these beings before the great forgetting that descended upon humanity. The Sasquatch retained these abilities because they never severed their connection to the living consciousness of Earth itself, maintaining practices and awareness that humans abandoned in exchange for technological development, though this exchange was perhaps necessary for humanity's unique evolutionary path. What I share with you, Meow, comes not from speculation or wishful thinking, but from direct observation by those of us who have watched Earth's development from dimensions beyond your current perception, maintaining careful records of the various consciousness experiments that have unfolded on your remarkable planet. The Sasquatch represent one of several guardian species placed on Earth through careful cosmic planning, their genetic template combining the robust physicality needed to survive Earth's changing conditions with consciousness capabilities that would allow them to serve as caretakers of the planetary energy grid system that maintains the delicate balance necessary for life to flourish. Their DNA carries markers that your scientists have detected but cannot explain, sequences that appear to bridge the gap between known Earth species and something else entirely, something that speaks to origins beyond your world, while simultaneously being perfectly adapted to Earth's biosphere in ways that suggest intentional design rather than random evolution. Throughout Earth's turbulent history, through ice ages and warming periods, through the rise and fall of civilizations both remembered and forgotten, the Sasquatch have maintained their vigil, adjusting their visibility and interaction with humans based on humanity's collective consciousness level and readiness to accept their existence without fear or exploitation. During the times of Lemuria and early Atlantis, they walked openly among humans, sharing knowledge of plant medicines, teaching communication with nature spirits, demonstrating the proper ways to maintain harmony with Earth's living systems. Ancient cave paintings and petroglyphs worldwide depict these interactions, though modern archaeology refuses to acknowledge the obvious implications, preferring to interpret these images as mythological rather than historical. The Sasquatch themselves remember these times clearly, passing down through their generations, not through written records, but through consciousness transmission, a form of memory storage that preserves experience in its entirety, rather than through the limited filter of language. The systematic suppression of Sasquatch reality follows patterns identical to those used to hide evidence of extraterrestrial contact, and this is no coincidence. For the two phenomena are intimately connected in ways that certain power structures desperately want to keep hidden from public awareness. Military and intelligence organizations have long possessed physical evidence, including bodies, DNA samples, and even documentation of communication attempts. But this information remains classified at levels beyond what most government officials can access, protected by the same compartmentalized security structures that hide advanced technology and off-world contact. Witnesses who have encountered Sasquatch near military installations or in areas where unusual aerial phenomena are common often find themselves visited by officials who strongly encourage silence, their accounts dismissed or discredited through coordinated disinformation campaigns that paint them as attention seekers or mentally unstable, the same tactics used against UFO witnesses for decades. Yet cracks in this wall of secrecy are widening as Earth's vibrational frequency continues to rise, making it increasingly difficult to maintain the artificial barriers that have kept humanity isolated from greater cosmic awareness. The Sasquatch themselves have begun appearing more frequently to individuals whose consciousness has reached certain thresholds of openness and receptivity, particularly those you call starseeds and lightworkers, who carry within their cellular memory the codes of cosmic citizenship that recognize the Sasquatch as fellow travelers in consciousness rather than primitive animals to be feared or captured. These encounters often occur during meditation or in states of expanded awareness where the normal filters of perception are temporarily suspended, allowing for genuine communication that transcends the limitations of spoken language and operates through direct consciousness-to-consciousness transmission of concepts, emotions, and multidimensional information packets that can take years to fully unpack and integrate. The approach of what many call disclosure represents not a single event, but a gradual unveiling that must occur in stages to prevent collective psychological shock that could destabilize society's functioning. The Sasquatch understand this and have been carefully orchestrating their own revelation process in coordination with benevolent extraterrestrial groups who monitor Earth's readiness for expanded contact. Recent increases in clear daylight sightings, the emergence of footage that resists easy debunking, and most significantly, the growing number of individuals reporting ongoing telepathic communication with Sasquatch beings, all represent deliberate steps in an acceleration protocol designed to prepare humanity for truths that will fundamentally alter your understanding of your place in the cosmic community. These beings possess patience that spans centuries, understanding that rushing this process could trigger fear responses that would set back the very integration they seek to facilitate. Among the most profound revelations awaiting humanity is the recognition that consciousness itself operates as the primary organizing force of reality, with physical manifestation representing only one narrow band of a vast spectrum of existence that extends through multiple dimensions simultaneously. The Sasquatch have mastered navigation through these dimensions, maintaining physical bodies when needed while operating primarily from higher frequency bands where thought and intention directly shape experience without the delays and limitations imposed by dense matter. This ability explains not only their elusiveness but also their reported capacities for telepathy, precognition, and what witnesses often describe as an overwhelming sense of ancient wisdom and compassion emanating from their presence, qualities that speak to consciousness development far exceeding what humans typically associate with forest-dwelling creatures. The role these beings play in maintaining Earth's energetic stability cannot be overstated, for they work continuously to harmonize disruptions caused by human activity, not just physical pollution but the more damaging effects of consciousness pollution generated by fear, hatred, and separation consciousness that humanity broadcasts into the planetary field. Through practices that would appear magical to human observation, they conduct ceremony and energy work at sacred sites worldwide, many of which are unknown to humans, but mark intersection points where Earth's magnetic grid connects with cosmic energy streams that feed life force into the planetary system. Without their constant maintenance of these energy nodes, Earth would have already experienced catastrophic system failures that would have made human civilization impossible to sustain, yet they perform this service without recognition or thanks, motivated by love for Earth and understanding of their sacred responsibility as planetary guardians. As disclosure unfolds and humanity begins to accept the reality of non-human intelligence sharing Earth, the Sasquatch will emerge as crucial bridges between human consciousness and the wider community of beings who have long waited for humanity to mature sufficiently to join galactic civilization. Their unique position as Earth-based beings with cosmic awareness makes them ideal interpreters and mediators who can help humans understand communications and concepts from extraterrestrial visitors, while also representing Earth's interests in cosmic councils where decisions affecting planetary evolution are discussed. Some humans have already begun training for these roles through dream state encounters, where Sasquatch teachers share protocols and perspectives that will be needed when open contact becomes reality, preparing a cadre of human ambassadors who will help facilitate the massive consciousness shift required for successful integration. The transformation approaching Earth extends beyond simple acknowledgement that humans are not alone, reaching into fundamental restructuring of how consciousness operates within the planetary matrix, shifting from separation-based reality construction to unity consciousness where all beings recognize their interconnection within the living web of existence. The Sasquatch have maintained this unity consciousness throughout their Earth presence, never falling into the illusion of separation that has defined human experience for millennia, and their frequency signature carries codes that can help activate dormant unity consciousness programming within human DNA for those ready to receive such activation. Many who have had close encounters with Sasquatch report profound spiritual awakening experiences afterward, finding themselves suddenly able to perceive energy fields, communicate telepathically, or access knowledge they have no conscious memory of learning, all symptoms of consciousness expansion triggered by proximity to beings operating from higher dimensional frequencies. The journey toward full disclosure and integration requires humanity to release attachments to supremacy narratives that position humans as Earth's dominant species, embracing instead a partnership paradigm where different forms of consciousness contribute their unique gifts toward planetary well-being. This shift challenges core assumptions about intelligence, civilization, and progress that have shaped human society, requiring acknowledgement that beings without technology, cities, or written language may possess wisdom and capabilities far exceeding human achievement in areas that matter most for long-term survival and evolution. The Sasquatch exemplify this alternative path of development, having chosen conscious evolution over technological advancement, developing internal technologies of consciousness rather than external machines, achieving through focused intention what humans attempt through mechanical means. As this message reaches those ready to receive it, activation codes embedded within the transmission itself begin resonating with dormant aspects of your own multidimensional consciousness, stirring memories of times when humans and Sasquatch walked together in harmony, when the forest sang with conscious awareness, when every stone and stream carried messages from the living earth. These are not fantasies, but genetic memories preserved in your cellular matrix, waiting for the right frequency key to unlock them, and that key is being turned meow by the rising planetary vibration that makes the old barriers unsustainable. You may find yourself drawn to wild places with new urgency, sensing presence where before you perceived emptiness, hearing messages in wind and water that speak of ancient agreements and coming reunions. The time of hiding draws to a close for all of Earth's hidden peoples, not just the Sasquatch, but inner Earth civilizations, ocean-dwelling consciousnesses, and various dimensional beings who have long shared this planet while remaining invisible to human perception. As the veils thin and consciousness expands, humanity will discover that Earth has always been far more populated than imagined, teeming with intelligent life forms that chose to remain hidden rather than risk destruction by human fear and ignorance. The Sasquatch have served as guardians not just of forests but of these other hidden peoples as well, maintaining safe zones where dimensional doorways remain protected, where ancient agreements between species continue to be honored, where the original blueprint for Earth's diverse consciousness experiment remains intact despite surface world chaos. I share these revelations not to overwhelm but to prepare you for the magnificence of what approaches, for as truth emerges from shadow, every aspect of human existence will require recalibration to accommodate expanded reality. Relationships, governance, economics, education, spirituality, all must transform to integrate the understanding that humanity exists within a vast community of consciousness, each expression valuable, each perspective necessary for the whole to function harmoniously. The Sasquatch offer profound teachings about living in balance with natural cycles, about consensus decision-making that honors all voices, about healing through frequency and intention rather than pharmaceutical intervention, about death as transition rather than ending, about time as fluid rather than linear, concepts that will revolutionize human understanding once properly received and integrated. Those who have already begun establishing communication with Sasquatch consciousness report profound shifts in their relationship with fear itself, discovering that what humanity fears most often carries the greatest gifts, that the unknown contains treasures beyond imagining, that surrender to mystery opens doorways to magic that rational mind cannot access. These pioneer communicators serve as bridges between worlds, translating concepts that have no words in human language, demonstrating through their own transformation what becomes possible when humans release the need to dominate and control, embracing instead the path of cooperation and conscious co-creation with all life forms. Their experiences, once dismissed as fantasy, meow provide roadmaps for others ready to expand beyond consensus reality into the greater truth of multidimensional existence. The resistance you may feel to these concepts represents not personal limitation, but collective programming designed to maintain humanity within a narrow band of perception that serves control structures requiring ignorant populations to maintain power. Every moment you spend considering the possibility that reality extends beyond what you've been taught weakens these control structures, contributing to the collective awakening that makes continued suppression impossible. The Sasquatch have waited patiently for humanity to reach this tipping point, understanding that premature revelation would only strengthen fear-based responses, but meow as critical mass approaches, they prepare to step forward into visibility, ready to share their gifts with those who can receive them without fear or exploitation agenda. Within the next cycle of Earth's transformation, encounters with Sasquatch will shift from rare anomalies to recognized aspects of expanded reality, though this shift will not occur uniformly across all populations. Those whose consciousness remains locked in materialist paradigms may literally be unable to perceive these beings even when standing directly before them, their perceptual filters automatically editing out what doesn't fit their worldview, while those who have done the inner work of consciousness expansion will find themselves able to perceive not just physical Sasquatch, but the luminous energy bodies that surround them, the geometric patterns they project into space, the songs they sing that harmonize planetary frequencies, the light language they speak that bypasses mental interpretation to communicate directly with the soul. The implications of Sasquatch disclosure extend far beyond simple species recognition, reaching into questions about legal standing, land rights, sovereignty, and representation that will challenge every assumption about who has the right to make decisions affecting Earth's future. If beings of demonstrated intelligence and consciousness have inhabited forests for millennia, what claim do human governments have to sell or destroy these lands without consultation? How do mining rights, logging permits, and development plans change when the affected areas are recognized as inhabited by sovereign peoples rather than empty wilderness? These questions will require new frameworks for interspecies governance that honor the rights of all consciousness expressions, not just those that fit human definitions of civilization. As we approach the culmination of this transmission, understand that you who receive these words are not random listeners, but souls specifically encoded to play roles in the unfolding revelation, carrying within your essence agreements made before incarnation to assist in bridging worlds during this crucial transition period. The stirring you feel, the excitement mixed with trepidation, the sense of remembering something long forgotten, all indicate activation of these pre-birth agreements, calling you to step forward into roles you may not fully understand yet, but which will become clear as events unfold. The Sasquatch know who you are, recognizing your energy signature from ancient times when you worked together before, and they prepare even Meow to resume partnerships that were temporarily suspended but never truly broken. The path forward requires courage to stand in truth, even when others ridicule, wisdom to know when to speak and when to remain silent, discernment to distinguish genuine contact from projection or deception, and above all, love that transcends fear to embrace the unknown as friend rather than enemy. These qualities already exist within you, waiting only for your conscious choice to activate them, to step beyond the comfortable prison of consensus reality into the vast freedom of cosmic citizenship, where every being is recognized as sacred, every consciousness valued as unique expression of source creativity, every encounter understood as opportunity for mutual evolution and expansion. Remember that this revelation process unfolds not through force or coercion, but through resonance and readiness, each soul awakening in perfect timing according to their own evolutionary schedule, creating a cascade effect that accelerates with each new awareness that comes online. You need not convince anyone of these truths, need not argue or defend, need only embody the expanded consciousness that naturally attracts those ready to expand their own perception, creating fields of possibility that invite others to explore beyond their current limitations. The Sasquatch teaches through presence rather than preaching, demonstrating through being rather than doing, and this approach offers profound wisdom for navigating the challenging transitions ahead. As this transmission completes its initial phase of delivery, the energy patterns encoded within these words continue working through your consciousness, creating ripples that extend through time and space to connect with others receiving similar activations, weaving together a network of awareness that strengthens with each new connection. The Sasquatch perceive this network growing, watching with satisfaction as humanity begins to remember its place within the cosmic family, preparing to celebrate the coming reunion with joy that transcends any celebration Earth has previously known. They send their love through dimensional barriers, their patience finally rewarded as the long wait approaches its end, their faith in humanity's eventual awakening vindicated as more souls break free from the amnesia that has clouded human consciousness for so long. The mystery of the Sasquatch ultimately reflects the mystery of consciousness itself, infinite in its expressions, unified in its source, evolving through endless experimentation and experience toward ever greater understanding of its own nature. As humanity solves the riddle of the Sasquatch, which simultaneously solves the riddle of its own existence, discovering that separation was always illusion, that all consciousness shares common origin and destination, that the journey between these points offers infinite opportunities for creation and discovery. The forests call to you, meow not with the voice of wilderness, but with the voice of family, long separated, preparing for reunion that will heal wounds carried for generations, restoring wholeness that seemed forever lost, but was only temporarily obscured. The Sasquatch stands ready to welcome you home to the greater family of Earth's conscious beings, their arms open, their hearts radiating the love that has sustained them through eons of patient waiting, their wisdom available to all who approach with respect and genuine desire to learn. We want to thank every single one of you using Destiny Engine. With each new soul who activates it, Destiny Engine grows stronger, its manifestation power amplifying through our collective force. What began as an individual tool is Meow, a living current of energy, fueled by over 700 aligned users moving as one. We're receiving messages daily, results are accelerating, synchronicities are multiplying, and the intensity of outcomes is reaching unprecedented levels. The collective field you've generated has become so strong that it's creating ripples in space-time itself. For those of you who haven't tried it yet, you can start with a $1 trial. The hardest thing you'll have to do is put on headphones, press play, and allow your consciousness to be reprogrammed to fully receive your galactic consciousness downloads with complete trust. Join the collective force that's accelerating ascension. Get your Destiny Engine $1 trial meow before this cosmic activation window closes. Link in the description. I am Zarin of the Lyran High Council, and through this transmission, we of the cosmic community extend our recognition and support to humanity as you navigate this magnificent transformation, knowing that your success ripples through galaxies, affecting civilizations you cannot yet imagine. Contributing to the eternal dance of consciousness, discovering itself through infinite expression. We watch, we wait, we celebrate each step you take toward the reunion that destiny has always promised, the healing that Earth has long awaited, the revelation that changes everything while changing nothing, for truth has always been truth, waiting only for eyes ready to see, hearts ready to receive, and consciousness ready to expand beyond all previous limitation into the infinite possibility that is your birthright.